Bill Zito just gave up 2 first-round picks, a future first, and a second-rounder for a guy with 2 years left on his contract, and every other general manager in the league had to sit there on a Sunday night and watch it happen. That's the Brady Tkachuk trade. June 21st, Ottawa sends its captain to Florida. In return, the Senators get the number 9 pick in this week's draft, the number 25 pick, which Florida had only owned for about 6 hours after flipping Mackie Samoskevich to Seattle earlier that same day, plus a top 10 protected first in 2029 and a second rounder in 2027. 4 picks, 0 NHL players going the other way. Florida didn't just make a trade. They made a statement. Here's what that statement actually buys them. Brady Tkachuk, 26 years old, 59 points in 60 games last season, one of the most physical, relentless forwards in the league, reunited with his older brother Matthew on a team that has already won back-to-back Stanley Cups. 2 cups. And yet they still missed the playoffs this past year because of injuries. So this isn't a rebuild move. This is we got embarrassed once and we are never letting that happen again move. Now, the part that makes this messier than a normal deal, Ottawa GM Steve Staios spent months calling the Tkachuk rumors nonsense. On the record, publicly, repeatedly.
Guys, being in charge of this team, trying to manage that.
Yeah, well, it's nonsense is what it is, and it depends on what week and what fan base it's coming from. So I don't read it. I don't bother with it. We know what we have internally. We have great communication with our players. So.
Then Monday morning, less than 18 hours after the trade, reporters asked him what changed. He didn't spin it. He didn't dress it up. He just said it flat. A trade request changed. That's it.
Steve, 2 months ago, at the end of the year, you said that the idea of trading Brady Tkachuk was nonsense. What changed?
A trade request changed. I think for me, I was always fully supportive and wanting to make it work long term. I think it became clear as the season went on this year that maybe something was amiss and that had changed.
The same man who denied everything for months confirmed the request the moment the deal was done. Staios didn't pretend it was mutual either. I could see that Brady was a different player compared to the year before, he told reporters. I wasn't overly surprised at that point. When someone asked about the return, he added, "It was clearly pointed at one team at the end. I feel comfortable with the return given the circumstances."
Clearly it was pointed at one team at the end. I think I feel comfortable with the return, with dealing with the circumstances that we did to get there. So it's not like he was available to every team in the league. So that process sort of took hold as I went along with the number of teams, and it was clearly pointed to one team at the end of it.
Translation: Tkachuk gave him a short list, and by the time it mattered, the list basically had one name on it. Staios made a point of saying there was no bad blood. There was no animosity. I would have loved to see it through with Brady. GMs always say that. Sometimes they mean it, sometimes they don't. Either way, the captain was gone. For context on what Ottawa actually lost, over 8 seasons, Brady put up more goals, more points, more power play goals, more shots, more hits, more game-winning goals, and more multi-goal games than any player who has ever worn a Senator sweater. Captain for the last 5 years. That isn't a rental piece. That is the identity of a franchise walking out the door for a pile of draft capital. Because here's the thing about Tkachuk's no-movement clause. He wasn't going just anywhere. He gave Ottawa 4 teams, Florida, Minnesota, Vegas, and Carolina. But everyone close to this knew where it was really headed from the start. His brother was already in Florida. They had just won Olympic gold together with Team USA in Milan in February. And according to Brady himself, on his own podcast with Matthew, called Wingmen, the brother thing wasn't even the real reason. "I made this decision taking you out of it. It wasn't about you," Brady told Matthew on air. "Every single time after playing you guys, I was like, holy cow, that team is incredible."
Different teams and found a lot of success. So, I mean, I'm just taking, and I made this decision with taking you out of it. It wasn't about you. You know how much I love you.
Oh, that's
but
nice.
Yeah, you know how much I love you. But I just have always, every single time after playing you guys, just like, holy cow, that team is incredible, and they have a chance to win every single year. So I think that was that, and that went a part of the decision. And
Matthew's response was quieter than you'd expect. I knew there was a slight chance this was going to become a reality, but I didn't want to get my hopes up. They found out together.
So I think we start with Matthew first, of the reaction of the trade.
So I was around Brady all weekend, and it's one of those things, like, I went through the exact same thing, and there's a lot of like lull time. There's a lot of time where you don't really think it's going to happen, and then bang, it's like craziness for a few hours. So I kind of had a sense something was happening when Brady had to leave me a little bit early on one of the 9-hole matches.
Family gathering in St. Louis on Father's Day, everybody dressed up for a baptism. Brady said he was off his phone for maybe 5 minutes. When he came back, his whole life had been rearranged. Picture that moment for a second. One of the toughest, most competitive forwards in the league, sitting with his family, and in the space of a few missed calls, the city he captained is no longer his home, and the team that just won 2 cups is suddenly his future.
I put my phone down for 5 minutes, and all of a sudden we have our grandpa, Papa Tkachuk. Middle of the pictures looks at his Apple Watch and is like, this is interesting. Brady, Emily Kaplan just tweeted out that you've been traded to Florida. So interesting. I was like, what? I was off my phone for 5 minutes, and then checked my phone, made some calls, and realized that was happening. And I mean, I still don't even know, like, it's just, everything has happened so fast, and just with...
It was a day and a half ago, not even.
Yeah, and then finding out, we're going to get into it, the big man's in the Hall of Fame. Like, it's just, everything has just been such a whirlwind, and such a...
Zito's press conference 2 days later was pure Zito. Brady is a dynamic competitor and one of the most physical and relentless forwards in the league, he said in the announcement. Then in the room, he described the actual phone call he made to sell Brady on the move. I said it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You're the piece that fits into the puzzle, but at the same time, it's the perfect puzzle to fit around that piece. Corny? Sure, but it's worked for him before. Brady basically repeated the metaphor back at his own press conference, unprompted. Everything's done by committee, everybody's a part of the puzzle, he said. Their sole focus is winning.
I think just everybody is just knowing it's just by committee, and just talking with Bill, it's just everybody's a part of the puzzle, and everybody, their sole focus is winning, and that's something that I'm just excited to join into it and help out in any way from my past experiences as a captain and different things that I've experienced throughout my hockey career. So I'm just really excited for this next chapter and being a part of this this excellent group.
Zito wasn't shy about the mission statement either. That's our job, that's our mission, and winning is paramount, he said. Then, almost as a warning shot to the rest of the division, we're not done. He admitted he and his staff play fantasy hockey, trying to figure out the next move. Coming from a guy with 2 rings already, that isn't a boast. It's just what he does. Quick but important tangent. Back in April, 2 months before any of this became public, Brady's dad Keith went on the Wingmen podcast and ripped into the Senators' toughness. Holy Christ, his whole team. Oh, my pinky hurts. I'm out for 6 days, Keith said live on air, with Brady sitting right there. Mismanagement.
That's what happens. You play through injuries, guys. Holy Christ, this whole team. My pinky hurts. I'm out for 6 days.
I knew that was coming. I knew right when he said that. I'm like, don't say it. I'm like, don't you say it.
I just had a bad sleep, so I can't play today. Oh, my God. Disgusting.
All right.
Brady didn't jump in to defend the room. He later said there was no shot at anyone in the comments and that people twisted it. But the exchange happened before the trade request, not after. Sometimes you can hear the ending coming long before anyone says it out loud. This isn't new territory for Bill Zito. Matthew Tkachuk came over in 2022 for a package built around Jonathan Huberdeau. Sam Bennett arrived in 2021. Brad Marchand landed last year. Seth Jones the year before that. Every single time Zito went and got the guy instead of waiting for the phone to ring. He's now won 2 cups doing exactly that, which is probably why nobody in that Florida room seemed particularly worried about the draft picks walking out the door. Look at the forward group he's stacked now. Barkov, both Tkachuks, Reinhart, Bennett, Marchand, Verhaeghe, Lundell, Luostarin. On the back end, Jones, Forsling, Ekblad, Mikkola. On paper, that is no longer a division rival. That is a problem for the entire Eastern Conference. So here's the real question that will hang over both franchises for years. Did Florida just steal a superstar in his absolute prime for 4 picks? Or did they mortgage 3 drafts to fix one injury-riddled season that might have been a blip anyway? Sportsbooks didn't wait around to decide. Florida's Cup odds got shorter within hours of the trade going public, sitting right alongside Carolina and Colorado at the top of the board. Ask me again in 2 years. Once we see what Ottawa actually does with 2 first-rounders and a future first. Right now, the deal just looks scary. Whether it still looks scary in 2029 is a completely different question. And the truth is, nobody, not Zito, not Staios, not Brady, not anybody sitting in that Fort Lauderdale press room, actually knows the answer yet.